Hello everybody, welcome to Nioh 2. In this quick video, we're going to look at an early build guide for when you're creating a mage. So in this video, we're going to look at the weapons you should start with, the stats that you should be concentrating on, how to get your first spell, and we're actually going to get it early, and how you are likely to want to get through the game. So first up, let's take a look at stats. So when you're just starting out in Nioh, everything's all going to start out at 5, right? You're going to be in this room after you've created your character. Now, of course, if you guys decide you're going to follow my playthrough, or should I say walkthrough, and start looking at the other build guides, you're going to see a different character to this. I just kind of created this so I could show you guys what I needed to show you. So, we of course have a series of stats here. Now, the most important stat to us as casters, particularly if we want to actually become effective mages, is going to be magic. So the first thing that we are definitely going to pick out of all these weapons is the switchglaive. Okay, let's just get rid of this tutorial thing. I really like this weapon anyway, so I heavily recommend using it as your main, particularly again if you're going to be a caster. And as far as I'm aware, this is the only weapon that scales damage with it, so as a caster you don't have much choice, which is probably why it has such a good moveset. This has the ability to close distance, it has good range on its attacks, large swipes, which allows you to hit multiple enemies and stuff, so it's just a good weapon. Plus it looks cool. So in addition to that then, next up you're going to want to think about the other stats that are important to you. Okay, so we of course already know, well, when I get to stats, that magic is important to us. Okay, and this is going to be our primary damage stat. Next up then, we want to be taking a look at a few other things. Now luckily for us, the switchglaive comes with scaling in skill and constitution. So what that means is you're going to be putting points into here so that you can wear specific armor types, but still managing to gain a benefit out of it on your weapon. You are probably going to put like the minimum amount into skill, so you'll probably keep it 5, and then when you find an armor set that you want to wear, you'll add skill into this. This does mean we are going to be in light armor, we're going to be more fragile than some of the builds. When it comes to constitution, after magic, this is probably our second most important stat. So, I would say directly after the switchglaive then, not for the weapon, but for the stat point, comes constitution. Now bear in mind, this is if you definitely plan on staying as a mage for the entirety of your playthrough. If you feel like there's a chance you might want to respec, because you can respec in this game, then it may actually be worth picking a different weapon for a stat that's more universally important. And the most universal stat after constitution is heart. I know I went past it earlier, I just kind of wanted to do something. So heart gives us extra key and extra key recovery, so bear that in mind when you're picking these weapons. If you're going to be going pure mage, we'll go this way around. If you might respec later, maybe swap the switchglaive for the sword, and then switch back to the switchglaive later on just for the stat increase. So with that little bit explained about the stats that are important to us and why, let me just mention another caveat to those stats, and a potential third way. If you don't care about weapon damage, and you don't care about health, and you want to play risky, you could also spec for courage, which, whilst not as much as magic affects your Onmyo powers, it does actually add extra damage, which strangely enough means that tonfas can also be a good thing to have, but I probably wouldn't go that way. It's just so that you guys are completely aware. So let's go forward then. Constitution, magic. Very, very reliable in my opinion if you're going to be playing as a mage. Next up, and this bit's important, we've got the 3 guardian spirits here. And somewhat frustratingly, it doesn't really show you what their stats look like. And somewhat frustratingly, this one looks like the best pick. But let me tell you, it's not. This has abilities that scale with magic. It's going to give us +1 magic right now. But this one comes with a passive for +20% lightning damage. And being as... I wonder if it's going to show me skills here. It is. Being as we are going to be coming down here first, because lightning gives good paralysis and actually inflicts paralysis based on the damage that you do, and also has probably the best spell in the game down here. I'll try and find it for you. Sloth, which does in fact spike off from lightning. This is going to be the first spell that we learn. Which means, in terms of our magic, this is going to give us 20% extra magic damage on our lightning abilities. In addition to that, it's going to give us +1 heart, which, as I was saying earlier, is quite an important stat to us. In addition to it, it's also what you might call a feral yokai. So, if I press my trigger in, and then this, I'll do a certain type of evasion, and they all have their own different type of evasion. There are 3 varieties of these guardian spirits. They all have their own different kind of dodge times. Now, the yokai one, not the yokai one, but the feral one, which is this one, is the easiest to use because you can aim it at stuff when you want to do what's called a burst counter. You guys will see that during the walkthrough. You can also use it to dodge, which is nice. Not only can you use it to dodge, when you run out of stamina, as long as you haven't gone down, you can still evade with it. I'm not going to call that an advanced tip, but it's something that I don't see anyone else doing. So, with all of that being said, this is definitely the correct choice for a mage. In fact, I'd say it's the correct choice for most people. Strength is okay, magic's okay, heart's good for everybody, and that dodge is the best dodge. And we want the 20% lightning. Cool. So we're going to end this part of the video. We're going to pick up with a different character because I've prepared the next part for you all. So see you in a second. Hello guys, I'm just going to add a little bit into the middle of this video. So before we get into the second half, which is explaining a few bits and bobs, I'm not going to go over it here obviously. There are a couple of things that I forgot to mention. That is, firstly, to get extra slots in the Kodama Bazaar, you are going to need to get all of the Kodamas. There's a guide for that on the channel. If you guys need it linking somewhere, just let me know. It gets you extra slots in the Bazaar, which is how we're getting the spells here, by the way. In addition to set the items that they are providing, you need to basically close the game down and reload it. The most effective way, in my opinion, for me was to load a different save file, but some guys might not want to do that. So just close the game down, reset it a few times, and you should get different items pop up for you. Okay then guys, so the second half of this video, we're actually going to use on a different character just because I went ahead and prepared some stuff just to make this a little bit easier. So in the first mission, we'll have this just here. You'll get some Amrita, which is essentially this game's version of experience or souls. This is stuff that you can drop when you die, and we use it to power up our character. So what I recommend doing first, just to kind of make this so that it is kind of an actual beginner's guide, is looting everything up into where you see that blue grave and the gate just there. So you'll loot this, you'll kill this guy down here, kill this guy down here. Ignore the fact they've got different weapons, guys, and I suppose slowing things down a bit. Get all this sorted, and then go back to the shrine. You should have 1 to 2 levels worth of Onmyo. It's up to you guys if you kind of want to power up just a little bit more. That's all fine. Just make sure you're in good stead to continue with the rest of the level. Now, I'm not going to teach you guys to suck heads, because I have already done a walkthrough for this level. So if you guys want guidance with that, that's going to be a separate thing. But in terms of getting yourself early Onmyo points, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab all of the Kodamas for the mission. And what you'll find is when you come to the shrines, come over to make offering. Okay, so usually here we have make an offering, which is where we sell stuff to the Kodamas. We have receive a blessing, which is where we equip the Kodamas onto our character, and we get a bonus for that. And then we have the Kodama Bazaar, which only unlocks after you've made an offering. So you're going to want to go ahead and sell something, and you'll find that you'll get some divine rice. Now what you want to do, the way that this is going to allow you to get Onmyo points early, is that here in this bazaar bit, you can get spells. Now this isn't guaranteed, so you may have to do some resetting to get these early, depending on how much you want to be making an early start on these. So go ahead and buy them. Also note that these will disappear after you leave the mission. So once you've got them, make sure you use them until you've got at least one Onmyo point. Equip them in your item slot down here, and now we have ourselves an item that we can use. So now that we've rested, let me show you guys something here. So we have status. Now, I don't know if everybody knows this, but if you press your shoulder button, you can move along, and here we can actually see our proficiency. So I've had a bit of a practice at this just to see that it's going to work. So 324 was our original proficiency. Now, fight this guy. And I note that it's not kills, but the actual damage that increases your proficiency. So 324, 325, 362. There we go. So we've had some pretty good increase there. I'm not going to show you guys me dying, but essentially you can continue to wail on this guy with the fire, or indeed bring a Revenant over. So we can take something like this. The best thing about bringing a Revenant over is it's going to drop more gear for you. I didn't even check what level we were. Ooh. This will drop more gear for you to get more rice for if you use Revenant. So this is probably a better idea. Wow, you had some pretty good gear for earlier. We'll talk about gear at the end of this as well. So we're now on 492. So rinse and repeat that until you get your first Onmyo point. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over to here. Obviously, you'll get the sign, the exclamation point that you can spend the point. Come down here and buy yourself the Lightning Talisman. This will allow you to ready Jutsu, which isn't an option that we have right now, so I can't directly show you that immediately. But essentially, one of these tabs will be ready Jutsu, which is where you'll put it on. It starts out on Ninja, so you want to press R1 so that you can ready Magic, and that's going to allow you to do that. So being as we are early game, the kinds of armor that you're going to be looking for to wear are light armor. So you want your armor or your equip loads. Let's take a look at this for a second. Let's look at equip loads. So if you are in blue, I don't think we've got anything that's going to keep me that low now. Oh, here we are. Can I show it? I should be able to. Yes. So if you're in blue armor, you're going to be faster. In addition, you'll actually use less stamina to attack as well. So you'll move faster, you'll sprint faster, you can sprint further, all that good stuff. And blue is the lightest. After that, you'll have green, which essentially means you're in heavier armor, which slows you down, means that you'll lose more. So as you can see, I took almost like half of my stamina bar there. And then essentially you have the same up until 70, which I should be able to show. We should have something heavy. 70. This is practically unusable for me. Like the running speed is like walking. And look at that, one combo nearly out stamina. And if you can go even further than that if you actually reach over 100%. I don't think I can actually do that right now. Can I? No. I can't actually reach over 100%. Difficult to do at the beginning of the game apparently. But then you basically won't be able to dodge, and everything will just be ridiculous. But aim for light armor for your magic build. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? There's anything else I need to show you guys. We spoke about the stats, didn't we? Obviously, you guys will need to make a decision between heart and courage. I was thinking about this as well. I haven't tested courage over heart yet, so that's going to be its own thing. First spell going to be lightning. Oh yeah, we need to show the Guardian Spirit. So as well as the lightning damage, by the way, guys, there's other stuff here that I really like. Firstly, the lightning damage actually comes along with having 12 in magic and courage combined. Obviously, you guys will have that if you pick magic at the beginning, so that comes straight away. You actually get divine rise drop rate, which is amazing. Key recovery speed, which is also amazing, and 10% running speed. So it's just all round really good Guardian Spirit to start with. And I think that's pretty much everything for starting out with a mage build. What I would also say is once you've got the lightning talisman, don't save it. Just keep using it. Keep using it and using it and using it. The more you use it, the more Onmyo points you're going to get. And most bosses have a shrine almost right before them anyway. So just use it, paralyze enemies, get the status on there, give yourself an easier time, and enjoy being a mage. I'll be doing more kind of build videos and stuff. If there's anything else that you guys want me to go through, let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you all next time.